Canton Townie sing this song, doo-da, doo-da. Canton corruption all day long, oh doo-da day. God, I love playing with the AI. Hopefully the more exposure you get to AI being used for what it was meant to be used for, and not to screw people, will help you all to better detect when AI is being used to screw you. Outside of that, it's just benign. It's just me playing with something as if I was playing with a Rubik's Cube. Anyway, on to the topic. I ain't no Alan Jackson or David Yannetti, but there are some clues to work out what they might be going to do with the carpet at some stage. Let me step you through just like the logical sequence to start with. We do know that once arriving at 34 Fairview Road that night, John did get out of the car, and he took 80 steps, which we will presume was towards the front door. We will also presume that someone let him in because he'd never been there before. And once he's inside that door, what do we know he will do?
And you mentioned that Mr. O'Keefe was meticulous, if not OCD, when it came to the garage. How did that relate to how he kept the house?
The same. Everything was very tidy. When you walked in the door into the house, to the left, you put your shoes, your coats would be hung there.
And as far as shoes were concerned, is that something that you wore inside the house or not?
He'd rather you not.
And that was pretty well known to people that had been there before, correct?
Yes.
So there you have it. According to his bestie, John was fastidious about taking your shoes off at the door. This was confirmed multiple times by multiple witnesses. If he goes to someone else's house, it's a logical deduction that he's already in the habit of taking his shoes off at the door, right? So let's assume he's arrived at the door, someone has let him in, and he has started to slip his shoes off. He's only got one off so far, when kapow! Someone smacked him in the head. Not just once, but multiple times. And we know this because we know that the two front orbital sockets were smashed, according to the ME. And it goes without saying that your brain bouncing around inside your head or even swelling doesn't break bone. So now we have a logical sequence of events of him walking up to the door, being let in, and why he's only got one shoe on. Now let's cruise over to Zillow and check out the house plans. Looking at the plans, we can see that all the door entries, including the front door, are on the second floor. So I'm going to take a screenshot of the second floor without the 3-season room and the deck area because that's beside the point. And I'm going to pull it into some architectural software and scale it so we can basically draw the front area of the house where John would have arrived at. Once we have a basic 3D model of the front of the house, we can look at both doors, the front and the side entry. Now that I have it in the Architect software and it is scaled, I can add some walls. Now this is just a quick demo, so I'm not really trying to make every single material match the Zillow site. We just want a basic 3D model to have a look at which parts of the carpet we might test. So we can see that the front door opens to the foyer area. And referring back to the Zillow site, we can see that there's a closet on each side of the front door. Also note, there's no carpet here, it's just tiles. The grout between the tiles may hold some clues. Looking at the outside of the house, either side of that front door, it looks like the closets are here and here. I think we can assume that the closet on either side is where you might put your shoes or your jacket. Now I'm going to use floor 1 as the reference to build out floor 2. We'll just skip forward a little bit to save you from having to watch me do that slow-mo. And here we are. 5 bedrooms, a bathroom, an ensuite and a closet. And now for the grand finale walkthrough. You'll note the Zillow site shows us that there is no carpet on the first floor at all. only on the stairs leading upstairs to the second floor. Otherwise, the entire first floor is either timber or tile. We have no reason to believe John actually made it this far in the house. If I was a betting person, I would say the grout at the front door might be a significant start if we're looking for John's DNA. Even though John's phone went up and down stairs inside the house, it doesn't necessarily mean he was actually carrying it. Also note that Brian Albert testified that they had replaced the basement due to a sewage leak, apparently, which obviously would have involved replacing the carpet as well. So Karen doesn't have any carpet from the basement, but she could have the stairwell carpet, which goes from the basement up to the first floor and also up to the second floor. And then up the top on the second floor, we have 5 bedrooms all carpeted. Again, I don't expect any of those to have any of John's blood on them, since the clues all lead to the basement, which everything including the concrete has been replaced. My guess is the stairwell carpet is going to be of great interest to the defence. If you want to go and study the house inside and out, I will leave the Zillow link in the description, but at least you know which carpets we are talking about and which areas are most likely to yield some type of blood or DNA. I hope that helps.